Hello everyone, Anchadine over here, and today we are going to do the first kind of look thingy guide on my Cheyula Flicker Strike Monk. As you might expect, of course, this year is not final at all. Also, this amulet doesn't work in Path of Building, but it's there. Now, if you don't know what Flicker Strike is, it's a very cool ability that consumes your power charges and makes it so you hit 2 additional times per power charge consumed, and it attacks very fast. Of course, as you might expect, you want to have good supports on it that interact with charges and also other skills that work with charges. Now, before anything happens, I'm going to show you a little clip. This is of course an interlude boss, so it's not going to be anything crazy, but let's go into it. There we go. This is on the last interlude that I was working. Basically, what you do is you hit 4 times to get your bell ready. This bell, of course, will give you the frozen buff. This way, you also proc Ice Bite, making you do more cold damage. And with these power charges, you are going to get your charge staff if you already don't have it. Now, after putting charge staff, you are going to get more power charges and then use Flicker Strike. The showcase is very short here, but it does a lot of damage. Now, for the passive tree and everything else, of course, I'm also going to show you a little bit of mob thingies afterwards. This is my actual passive tree. Of course, as you might expect, we get everything power charge related, get maximum power charges, and because we are Chayula Monk, we are also playing with volatility. This right now doesn't stack super fast, but we will have ways in the future to stack it faster. We get volatility, sometimes doesn't go away, so you get another stack when it explodes. This is very good, especially when you have catharsis. And then precise volatility, making it so we get critical strike, hit chance per volatility exploded. So if we explode 20, we get 20%. If we explode 50%, we get 50%. If we explode the cap, that is 200, we'll have 200 critical strike. Then critical strike things, some quarter staffs. Eventually, these ones I'm going to replace for these ones. The combo thing is also very good, but right now, until I get a good energy shield helmet, because remember Subterfuge Mask is super OP, it's going to also be going to frenzy charges, because remember I do want to use Wind Serpent Strike. For that I have a kinda decent quarter staff that I crafted myself. Remember, you can always craft this now more easily, getting a good flat spear, like for example this blade spear here. Ideally you would have physical damage and critical or critical strike chance or bonus, and then you essence the flat and you try to jawbone the plus skills. This I just already had the plus skills, some crit and the percentage physical, and I jawboned the Abyss on flat. If you don't know what a jawbone is this? It's a preserved jawbone. It makes you able to desecrate a weapon or quiver. While you are on the campaign, you do get the lower ones, but these ones have a maximum item level of 64. Afterwards, you will need to use the real ones. So if you have a leveling weapon, like me, just send it away, and you won't feel it that much. Same as before, we do want to have like at least some fire damage somewhere, so we get the ignite thingy on the bell. Also, because we are running with inner turmoil, And when we inflict an elemental ailment, we gain 1 volatility, so we do want to ignite, shock, chill, and freeze, if possible, of course. And right now I have these 2 points, the Inner Turmoil and the Waking Dream. Afterwards I will get this one, Choice of Power. So all my flames are purple, giving me additional chaos damage. Very good. And lastly, we'll get Unraveling, making so our chaos damage can get all of these elemental ailments. And also every 2 seconds it changes. You can also get Sap of Nightmares or Chayula's Gift, but I'm going to get Unraveling as the last one. Grasp of the Void is very weird, and the Darkness tree is just so bad that I don't even want to show you what it does. Of course, right now we are doing Resonance with Combat Frenzy and Sniper's Marks from our Hand of Chayula. I have Profusion 2 here and Profusion 1 on the other. I don't know if it's bugged or something, but the 15% chance to get an additional random charge is not working. But from other things on our Into the Reach, we have of course Harmonic Remnants 2 and Remnant Potency 3 in the future when we have more supports. Math of Destruction, you can't really do a lot with this after they nerfed all of the empowering things. You might as well snap a +1, maybe extra duration, I don't know. My Tempest Bell, I'm going to change things, but for now it has Overabundance, so you can build combo for the next one while you already have one. Rage, just to get extra damage, and Volatility, so we get those extra volatilities on crit. It's very likely that I take Rage off when I get my Timeless Jewel to get Rage, and put some more critical strike chance, because we want to get as much volatility as possible. Paladin Impact is the thing that I'm doing right now to snap my volatility off with Catharsis and Crater. We could put other things on it, but right now I'm only using for that, and what I'm using Paladin Impact is because of the Dazed. We put Broken Stance on the mobs. If they are dazed, we put Broken Stance and they take more damage. Nothing crazy. Charge Staff, same thing, volatility to get more stacks, some extra duration, and Innervate, sometimes it kills, and we get this extra lightning damage. You can put, of course, extra damage on it, and it's going to work very well. Wind Dancer, right now it doesn't do much, because I don't have a lot of evasion, but I have it with Blind and Maim, making it so enemies that hit me, they get a little bit of a knock, and they also get less accuracy, and less move speed and evasion rating. Ice Strike is how we build our combos and things. Have practiced combo, so we get more combo from hitting targets. Volatility, so we get volatility on crit. Same thing, I don't have a huge deal of crit, but I will get more, you might expect. And then Ice Bite, this does work when we freeze the bell, so we have it permanently up, most likely. And of Chayula, as I already said, it puts our mark on the target, even after the nerfs. It's not that bad. We will also get lower cooldown on it eventually. So instead of 6 seconds, it's going to be like 4 point something. And I already had shown you Trigger Strike, chance to not consume charges, Inevitable Critical, that works well for all hits. It gets a lot of Critical Strike, also because of the quality we have right now. 68% chance to crit, not bad. Fulmination, we build a lot of combos with Ice Strike, so we're going to get 3% damage per more combo. It's not that hard to beat 20 something combo, so that's a 60% more. And Momentum, it is likely that I change this for the Overextend one. Overextend one gives you more multiplier, or for the blind with more crit and more crit damage, but that's in the future when we have more critical strike and more crit damage. Now let's get into the gameplay itself. As you saw in that short clip, we do destroy bosses quite easy, but this is also tier 1 or 2 maps and things like that. This map, for example, did bug out, so it's a bit sad. So let's go here into a random map. And of course, I'm going to save these items for later. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Right now, the build is very, very squishy. And of course, being melee, you are also, let's say, not that durable anyway, because of things work. So the first thing you do at the beginning of the map is try to get your charge stuff. Then after getting your charge stuff, even if it's at 4 or 5 stacks, it's already quite enough to begin getting the power charger for Flicker, and then you Mantle Destruction and Flicker whenever it's available, and because it does a lot of damage, of course, you're going to clear quite easily. Now, this does not mean that this is a super great build right now, but I'm having a lot of fun and the damage is high, so we need to get more survivability, let's say. Of course, the clear is nothing amazing. If you are watching content of people playing Dead Eyes on even combo things and other places, you might not be like super surprised. But as always, Flicker Strike is very cool. Now for some reason, sometimes you will encounter mobs that are from the Abyss place and things, and those are super dangerous, but at least the good thing that you can do is that's my body defender. Now of course the temporal bubble, very annoying, and that's also why you want a talisman with the immune to slows. It's going to help you a lot. And I don't really have much more to say about the build, but kind of as a defensive thing, you do stun and freeze quite a bit, and do leech if you have the. Okay, now let's show you this abyssal part, and then we'll go into the path of building itself. Hope I don't die. But this is a tier 1 map, so it's not going to be nothing crazy. One of the problems with Flicker also is that sometimes it gives you in the middle of some mobs. So do be aware that you will sometimes have to throw it out. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of volatility. What you can do if you want is you can cancel the animation of Vaulting Impact with a roll to get the catharsis instantly, or just use another ability. You can see, as always, of course, mobs are very dangerous. So we are going to go away from those, and let me show you now the path of building. Let's go into this. So, as you can see, the path of building is the same as the skill that I have right now. And it's of course for our level that is right now a funny 69. Also, you might see that I don't have any amulet or anything. And I'm going to leave the kind of export. Remember, the export right now works with the with generating a thingy. And if you want to import a character, you do need to authenticate from this is your own character. But if it's mine, I will just press here and generate, and I will get one of these. I usually use pop in because I kind of like it, and then you will put on the share. It will create the link for my character, and then I will share you this one. So that's everything. Have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video.